If someone told you after a cancer diagnosis, food doesn't really matter, just eat whatever you can, I want to gently push back on that with a fuller truth. That advice often comes from a caring place, but as a blanket statement, it's incomplete. Food will never replace surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, targeted therapy, or immunotherapy. I want to be crystal clear about that. But food can absolutely reshape the internal environment your body lives in every single day. When I say starve cancer, I'm not talking about starving you. I mean creating conditions inside you that are less welcoming to cancer by lowering inflammation, strengthening immunity, feeding the right gut microbes, keeping blood sugar steady, and reducing the signals that can push things in the wrong direction. I'm Dr. Hana, and every week in my clinic, I sit with people just like you, right after diagnosis, who look at me with the same heavy question in their eyes. What did I do wrong? Let me say this with all my heart. You did not cause your cancer by eating one food, but the choices you make from this moment forward can still matter a great deal. That's why I'm sharing 5 practical, science-informed food strategies today that are realistic for real life, especially as we get older. And stay with me, because one of the biggest surprises is a food many people have been told to fear for years. Let's start with the most important shift. Cut ultra-processed foods and processed meats as much as you reasonably can. Make minimally processed whole foods your everyday foundation. Beans, eggs, yogurt if you tolerate it, fish, chicken, tofu, vegetables, fruit, nuts, and oats. Let the packaged snack cakes, chips, sweet drinks, instant noodles, fast food, hot dogs, bacon, sausage, and deli meats become the exception, not the base of your plate. Processed meat sits in the IARC Group 1 carcinogen category. The evidence is strong. That does not mean one slice of bacon causes cancer, and risk isn't the same for every cancer. Dose and frequency matter. But it's enough for me to tell my patients, if you can swap it, please swap it. If you grill meat, here's a practical tip I give everyone. Avoid heavy charring, marinate when possible, cook at lower heat, and don't eat the blackened bits. Those high heat compounds like heterocyclic amines and PAHs are best left behind. I also encourage you to become a label reader. If the ingredient list is long and full of things you would never cook with at home, that's usually a sign it's highly processed. You don't need to become paranoid. Just start noticing your pattern. Now let's talk about something that can truly move the needle. Build your meals around beans, lentils, chickpeas, and other legumes. These humble foods do so many jobs at once. They deliver fiber, plant protein, and important minerals. That fiber nourishes your gut microbiome, supports regular bowel function, and helps steady your metabolism. Across study after study, higher fiber intake is linked with better outcomes and lower cancer mortality. If treatment has stolen your appetite, start small. A quarter cup still counts. Lentils into soup, scatter chickpeas over salad, dip veggies in hummus. Fill tacos with black beans. If beans make you gassy, soak and rinse them, or use well-rinsed canned beans. That one easy step makes the habit so much gentler. And if you're feeling overwhelmed right now, please hear me. You do not need a perfect cancer diet. You need a pattern you can actually live with and enjoy. This brings us to the deeper idea behind everything I'm sharing. Nutrition is not just calories. It is information that can activate your body's defenses. Food can quiet inflammation, support immune signaling, nurture your gut ecosystem, and even influence the messages tumors use to grow blood vessels. Researchers are also looking at how certain food patterns may affect cancer stem cell behavior. We are not talking about miracles. We are talking about gently shifting your biology in a more favorable direction. The reason you may not hear enough about this during standard oncology visits is simple. Most doctors never receive deep nutrition training. That does not make nutrition unimportant. It means you may need to speak up and ask the right questions. Let's move to something bright and delicious. Add berries and other deep purple foods every single day. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. And even purple sweet potatoes bring anthocyanins and polyphenols that researchers are studying for their anti-inflammatory and DNA protective potential. They are not a cure, but they are a powerful daily upgrade. My favorite habit is keeping frozen berries in the freezer. They're affordable, last forever, and slide so easily into smoothies, oatmeal, yogurt, or eaten on their own. When appetite is low, they can be one of the kindest foods to keep in your routine. Large studies like the Nurses' Health Study have shown that higher berry intake is associated with better outcomes in some populations, including breast cancer survivorship. Association is not the same as proof, but it is more than enough reason to make room for them. If you can aim for about 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, depending on what your treatment allows. If that feels like too much, start with 1 and simply build. Every berry matters. Next are the cruciferous vegetables: broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kale. These are some of the most powerful everyday vegetables we have. They give you fiber plus special glucosinolate compounds your body knows how to use. Here's a small kitchen trick that makes a real difference. Chop them first, let them sit for a few minutes, or add a pinch of dry mustard powder while cooking. Even 1 raw bite before heating helps preserve the enzyme that unlocks their benefit. And please don't think they have to be boring. Roast broccoli until it's crispy and caramelized. Turn cabbage into a bright slaw. Fry Brussels sprouts with seasoning. Blend cauliflower into soup. Make kale taste good. It absolutely can. If you've never been a big vegetable person, pick the easiest one for you and repeat it until it feels normal. Consistency beats intensity every single time, especially as we age. Now for the one that still surprises many of my patients: soy and edamame. I know this carries fear, especially after breast cancer. But major cancer organizations agree that for most people, whole soy foods like tofu, tempeh, edamame, and soy milk are safe. They do not recommend avoiding them. In fact, soy is one of the easiest plant proteins to include during treatment. I grew up with tofu and edamame as ordinary, comforting food, not as controversy. I wish more people could have that same calm relationship with it. The idea that soy feeds cancer is not supported by real-world human data. So let's make it practical. Try tofu with rice and vegetables for a filling lunch. Edamame in the freezer for snacks. Use soy milk and oatmeal or smoothies when you want a dairy-free protein. If you have breast cancer and were told to avoid soy forever, that is exactly the kind of question worth bringing to your oncology team using today's evidence, not old internet myths. Let me give you one more piece that connects everything. In a study of stage 3 colon cancer, people who ate tree nuts regularly had better outcomes than those who did not. That does not mean nuts are magic or replace treatment. But it shows us that whole food patterns matter. A handful of walnuts or almonds can be a solid, satisfying choice. And if you're on immunotherapy, your gut may matter even more. Certain beneficial microbes, including one called Akkermansia, have been linked with stronger treatment responses in some studies. You don't need to memorize names. The practical takeaway is to eat fiber-rich plants, legumes, variety, and some fermented foods when you can. They help support a healthier microbiome. If you want to personalize further, some people work with an oncology dietitian on microbiome testing. That can be useful, but it is not where I would begin. Start with these foundational habits. They give you the highest return on your effort. So let's make this concrete for this week. Your first move could be removing the processed meat habit and swapping bacon or deli meat for eggs, beans, tofu, or chicken. Your second could be adding one hearty legume meal. Your third, enjoying frozen berries every day. Your fourth, getting cruciferous vegetables on your plate a couple of times. And your fifth, welcoming soy as a normal, friendly protein instead of a feared one. When you combine these steps, you are reducing the foods most linked with a cancer-unfriendly environment and increasing the ones that help your body feel better equipped to heal. But I need to end with the boundary that matters most. Food supports cancer care. Food does not replace cancer care. If you are losing weight, dealing with mouth sores, nausea, diarrhea, swallowing trouble, or low appetite, the priority is getting enough calories and protein in whatever way feels doable. Sometimes that means soft foods, shakes, soups, or a simpler plan. This is not about perfection. It is about being supported while you heal. Please partner with your oncology team. If nutrition has not come up, ask. If they don't have time, ask for a dietitian referral. And if this video gave you even one helpful idea, I hope you'll stay with me. Comment below with the first food swap you're going to try. If you want the next practical step, subscribe, because I'm going to show you how to turn these ideas into a simple, cancer-supportive grocery list and a realistic one-day meal plan that actually fits real life.